Welcome to Laws of Indices Level 4. Pause the video now, try the 3 problems on the screen, and I'll go through them with you shortly. You'll find more practice at this level, plus links to the higher levels, as well as other topics, at the end of this video and on the channel homepage. In problem 1, we're evaluating 2 over 5 raised to the power of minus 3. This means we need to find its value. Now, since we have a fraction raised to a negative power, we're going to use this law, which tells us that we can rewrite 2 over 5 to the power of minus 3 as 5 over 2 to the power of 3. Now we can also write our numerator 5 as 5 to the power of 1 and our denominator 2 as 2 to the power of 1. And this makes it clear that we're raising powers to powers. And to do this, we're going to use this law, which tells us that when we raise a power to another power, we multiply the 2 powers together. So starting with 5 to the power of 1, we're going to multiply these 2 powers together, and it becomes 5 to the power of 1 times 3, which is 3. And on our denominator, we're going to multiply 1 and 3 again, so this becomes 2 to the power of 3. Now 5 to the power of 3 is 5 times 5 times 5, which is 125. And 2 to the power of 3 is 2 times 2 times 2, which is 8. So this is our final answer for problem 1. In problem 2, we're evaluating 8 over 125 to the power of a third. This means that we need to find its value. So to start, we can rewrite 8 as 8 to the power of 1, and 125 as 125 to the power of 1. And this is all raised to the power of a third. Now it's important to do this because we can now see that we're raising powers to powers. And to do that, we need to use this law, which tells us that when we raise a power to another power, we multiply the 2 powers together. So starting with 8 to the power of 1, we multiply together 1 and a third, and we get 8 to the power of a third. And on our denominator, we multiply 1 by a third again, and we get 125 to the power of 1/3. Now, since both our numerator and denominators have fractional powers, we're going to rewrite these using this law. And the law tells us that the numerator of each fraction is the power, and the denominator is the root. So this means that we can rewrite 8 to the power of a third as 8 to the power of 1, and then we can take the cube root of that. And exactly the same on our denominator, we can rewrite 125 to the power of a third as 125 to the power of 1, and then take the cube root of that. Now the cube root of 8 is 2, because 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. So this becomes 2 to the power of 1. And the cube root of 125 is 5, because 5 times 5 times 5 is 125. And that also has a power of 1 on it. 2 to the power of 1 is 2, and 5 to the power of 1 is 5, and so our final answer for problem 2 is 2 over 5, or 2/5. In problem 3, we're evaluating 9 over 25 raised to the power of minus 3 over 2. Now to start, since we have a fraction raised to a negative power, we're going to use this law. And the law tells us that 9 over 25, the power of minus 3 over 2, can be rewritten as 25 over 9 to the power of positive 3 over 2. Now we can also rewrite 25 as 25 to the power of 1 and 9 as 9 to the power of 1. And we can see that here we're raising powers to powers. And so to do that, we're going to use this law, which tells us that when we raise a power to another power, we multiply the 2 powers together. So starting with our numerator, 1 times 3 over 2 is 3 over 2. So our numerator becomes 25 to the power of 3 over 2. And in our denominator, once again, 1 times 3 over 2 is 3 over 2. So we have 9 to the power of 3 over 2. Now, since both numerators and denominators have fractional powers on, we can use this law. And the law tells us that the numerator of each fraction is our power, and the denominator is the root. So 25 to the power of 3 over 2 can be rewritten as 25 to the power of 3 and then the square root of that. And in exactly the same way, 9 to the power of 3 over 2 can be written as 9 to the power of 3 and then the square root of that. Now the square root of 25 is 5, because 5 times 5 is 25. So this becomes 5 to the power of 3. And on our denominator, the square root of 9 is 3, because 3 times 3 is 9. And so this becomes 3, still with a power of 3 on it. Now 5 to the power of 3 is 5 times 5 times 5, which is 125. So that's our numerator. And 3 to the power of 3 is 3 times 3 times 3, which is 27. So that's our denominator, and that's our final answer to problem 3.